Well, hello there, everyone. How are you doing this wacky Wednesday, May the 24th, year 2023? Yep, time flies by. I've been extremely busy myself, but I'm doing outstanding. Thanks for asking. I'm going to talk a little bit how to get out of debt. I don't mean real estate debt. Of course, I got suggestions for that too, but I'm talking about, say, consumer debt. Credit cards, auto loans, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so with that being said, I am Mazske Finance. I am not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. Yeah, I'm not nothing at all. I'm just a little peon. I'm a little peon who worked blue collar jobs all my life. I stayed frugal all my life. Never had, I think one time in my life I paid credit card interest for 1 month, I believe, a long time ago. But I've never really been into credit card debt or anything at all. But I parlayed a blue collar job into becoming a multimillionaire. Okay? And I've always said if I can do it, you can do it. I do have a playlist called 0 to 25 Rentals in 4 Years. If you so desire, watch that playlist. It may give you an idea of how you can get started with real estate. I have another playlist called Interview with Others. And there are some great interviews in there. If you don't like to hear me all the time, check them out. You got people that you've never heard of that had a worse life than you have that are buying real estate. And not just one, but multiple ones. You have some folks that want to get started in real estate, and now I need to do follow-up interviews. They have gotten started in real estate. Okay? So with that being said, how do you get out of debt? Because so many Americans, I dare say, struggle with this. They get credit card debt. Credit cards are so easy, right? It's like in the old days, you use cash. If you run out of cash, you can't go buy nothing. But nowadays, you have a piece of plastic, or metal nowadays too. You can swipe it, stick it, tap it, and magical, you take your product home. Whatever it may be. Nowadays, it might be food. People are paying, buying groceries with credit cards, which I buy groceries with credit cards because one credit card gives me 4x points. 4 points for every dollar I spend. So that's why I do it. Okay? So how do you get out of debt? And auto loans. We got to have that shiny new fancy SUV, right? Everyone drives an SUV. You look around, everyone drives an SUV. But don't cars get better gas mileage? Isn't fuel expensive? Every time I hear about fuel prices dropping, SUV sales go up. Gas prices go up. SUV sales drop down. It's funny how that works. All of a sudden, gas is cheaper. Let's go buy an SUV. Gas got expensive. I can't afford to put gas in my SUV or big pickup truck or whatever it may be. Okay. Obviously, society lacks the ability to teach financial education to the masses. Okay. So that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to teach the little guy how to get out of debt. All right. I've been rambling enough. You get the picture. All right. So if you have credit card debt, look at how many credit cards you have debt on. I think, from my knowledge, a lot of people get several credit cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know how many. Everyone's different. And they may have balances on each one. They may have a store credit card from this store, a store credit card from that one, this credit card, that one. Okay? There's different ways you can attack it. All right? Psychologically, if you're looking at 5 credit card bills, psychologically, if you pay one off, you got 4. Pay one off, you got 3. Like that. But mathematically, statistically, you want to pay the one off with the highest interest rate. However, psychologically, what may give you a motivational boost, pick the one with the lowest balance. Whatever that balance is. Pay the minimum on all the other cards and put everything extra, the minimum plus everything extra on the lowest balance card. As soon as you pay it off, whatever you're paying on that, whatever the minimum was and the extra, put that on your next lowest balance card and attack that one. So then psychologically, you go from 5 cards to 4 cards to 3 cards to 2 cards. Okay? Now, if you want the best bang for the buck, you pick the card with the highest interest rate and you attack that, but maybe that one has your highest balance. So then it's like a dilemma. If you don't pay that one off first, you're paying more interest. You got a high balance, high interest, you're paying more interest. But psychologically, you might feel like you're just spinning the hamster wheel because it takes so long. If it's a big balance, it just takes so long to get down. Okay, so psychologically, you pay off the lowest balance one, you move on. All right, let's say you got that one card left. And let's say you got a $10,000 balance. And let's say you have a situation in your life, maybe you're married, you have children, your jobs don't pay enough, you don't have the extra money. What do? Okay? A couple things. One, you're not going to like this. It's painful. It's painful. But you got to get out of debt. Why? Because a storm's coming. And you don't want to go into that storm with excess credit card debt, consumer debt, auto loans. Because if you or your spouse or your partner gets laid off from their job and that paycheck stops, or if inflation continues and prices get higher, you want that debt to be minimized, paid off the best you can do it. Okay? All right. So it's going to be painful. Here's a suggestion. Get another job. If you can't get another job or you've already gotten another job, work a part-time job. I know. You have children. You have this. You have family obligations. You can't. Baloney. You like when I say that word, don't you? I know. I offend some people. I lose subscribers sometimes. I don't know exactly why. I offend them. I'm sorry about that. Okay? I'm pretty blunt sometimes, but I'm the nicest guy in the world sometimes if you beat me. All right? But you got to pull the belt tight and suck it up. Get another job. When I was in the Navy, I worked a second job. I was a supervisor. I was an E6. I was leading petty officer up in Maine. And I started working in my local MWR facility, the gym. Had a 2-lane bowling alley there. I was responsible for that. I was responsible for the basketball gym, the fitness room, everything. When I worked, it was usually just me, like a one-man show. I worked on weekends because I worked my Navy job during the week, Monday through Friday. Okay, except when I had duty on weekends, and I didn't work that weekend in the MWR job. Okay, that was one weekend out of 4. But there were months I worked all 30 days in the month for however I did it. I don't remember exactly because I remember looking at the calendar, but I'd work 30 days a month, 5 days a week for my Navy job. And I'd work both Saturday and Sunday. But Saturday and Sunday might have been 4-hour shifts. Okay, but I had a small son at that time. He doesn't remember it because he was a little kid. All right. I worked a lot of overtime as a police officer. I worked rotating 12-hour shifts, and I worked as much overtime as I could for several years, multiple years. Okay, I didn't like it. I did not like it, but I had to do it. I had to do it to pay my bills. So no matter who you are, if you have debt, think about doing the same thing. The other thing to do, and I had to do this, is cut out almost all discretionary spending. That cup of coffee at Starbucks, I don't care if it's $5. Stop it. Cut it out. Make coffee at home. Running to McDonald's, $20 if it's a family, or $30 if you got children. Stop. Eat at home. Eat at home where it's cheaper. If you don't know how to cook, learn how to cook. Pack your lunch. I worked 20 years as a cop. I packed my lunch literally every single shift I worked. When I was in the Navy, I packed my lunch every day I went to work. I never bought my lunch out. I won't say occasionally I didn't get a piece of pizza when the shift bought pizza in there or something like that, but I packed my lunch every single day I worked. I was like the only guy that did it. I drove an old car. Again, I was like the only guy that did that. I drove an old car. So if you have any other loan besides credit card debt, look at it and prioritize your debt. I can't tell you exactly what to do. If you have credit card debt, odds are there's a good chance you might have interest in the 20-ish%. Okay? If you have an auto loan, depends on how long ago you got it. You might have 1.9, 2.93. Who knows what you got? You got to always pay the minimum on all your balances. That car loan is like a noose hanging over you because usually it's high dollar, but so you want to pay it down. But credit cards, it's on you. It's weighing you down. You got to pay it off. I can't tell you exactly what to do because I'm not you. I don't know your exact situation. Okay, if we ever sit down together and have a cup of coffee or tea, and you explain to me your exact situation, maybe I can explain to you from my perspective what I would do. Okay, but you got to cut expenses, maximize income. Those two things: cut expenses, maximize income. That means keep that car. I know you got to have a car to drive. Depends. Some people don't. If you live in a city, you might be able to take a bus or something. But keep that car. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Keep it. If you drive a big pickup truck, sell it. Buy something cheaper. Buy the Toyota Corolla. Oh, they don't make them anymore, or they're too cheap. Sorry for you. Get the cheap car. Okay? Do you take vacations with your kids? You ever heard of staycations? Stay at home. Play games. But when they're younger, this will work. As they become teenagers, it might get a little tougher. But I had staycations at times, or local. I went to museums in the town I lived in for one summer. I went 20 miles away to someplace local, and that was our vacation. Okay, the kids are young. I think they might remember this. I don't think they have any bad memories of it. We had a good time. We did cookouts. We did picnics. We actually would do Kentucky Fried Chicken sometimes. And we go hike in the mountains. We made a mistake one time eating the chicken before we went up in the mountains, and that was a hard hike up the mountain. We learned then do the hike up, come back down, then stop at Kentucky Fried Chicken. But that's fast food, unhealthy, and it's back then it was like $20. I don't know what it would cost now for a family. And that's not how you cut expenses. But you gotta, pack. Go out on a picnic lunch somewhere in a park. Pack peanut butter and jelly. It's healthy-ish. Peanut butter, buy no salt, no sugar, no salt peanut butter. Get like natural fruit jam, not ones loaded up with sugar. Take a banana, take an apple, take some fruit, take an orange. Stay healthy. But make those sacrifices. Look at me, I'm a multi-millionaire. Look at this shirt. This shirt is old. Look at my shirts in all my videos. Occasionally I put on a nicer shirt, but normally I'm wearing the old shirt. I got old stuff. It's hard to get out of that habit. When you're frugal all your life, it's just hard to get out of that habit. I do have a newer pool surface and a newer dock though, because I prioritize how to improve my life. I don't improve my life by buying the Tommy Bahama $90 shirt. I improve my life by getting a $25,000 two-level dock with a tiki hut with electricity and a nice fan and nice Adirondack chairs to sit in and LED lights to put on as it gets dark. That's how I prioritize things. I've had folks before say, how can you buy such and such? How can you afford to buy stocks? Back when I was stock investing. Because I stopped buying the little things. And by buying those stocks, I have a basement that some of you may have seen that I called my Netflix paid for basement. My Netflix stock went up. It was in a taxable brokerage account. I took the money out, paid the tax on it, and renovated my basement. Okay. I could not have afforded to renovate my basement anytime, any other way besides doing that. That was in my house in Virginia. Okay. So if you have debt and you want to become an investor, get yourself out of debt first. At least minimize it the best you can before you get into real estate investing. Because real estate investing is how you can really create your wealth. Once you create it, then you can branch out into other type of investments if you want to. All right. Hopefully I said something that will resonate with you. Hopefully something I said will help you out in some fashion. I can be as frugal as anyone. I've done it before for a number of years. I've been extremely frugal. As I always say, if I can do it, so can you. Have a great day. Comment below if you got any questions. Mazskes signing out.